Oh, these suck. Welcome, welcome. We got a lot to go over, and we will be touching on that quote-unquote apology from Rain. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Lies. Welcome, welcome. You know, this is why Pirate Software would beat you in a jousting match. There have been some people like, dude, where's the pirate content? I'm like, you tell me. there's nothing new to talk about. There's a bunch of new stuff coming out with this FaZe shit. Fucking David, do you guys know about that? The artist David, like DAV4D. Bro, it's looking really bad. At first it seemed pretty like, oh, you know, the body was in his car, but you know, he wasn't there. He was at a concert or something. Oh, not looking like that anymore. Taking a sec right now. I'm just pulling up a few more clips for the FaZe stuff, and then we'll probably tackle the David stuff after. What's up, Alex? Sorry about that. Morning from Japan. Dang. Well, good morning. Okay, I got the other piece up that I needed. Okay. So, we got a bit of stuff here. Thoughts on Billy Mitchell and Nick? I'm assuming you meant Diorio sauce. Use coupon code Nick to get, I think it's like 5% off. What is up, guys? How y'all living? We got a lot has come out since I posted my video and did this last stream. We've got even more to go over. Not a lot of, but a bit of back and forth. It seemed a bit strange. It appeared that, who here, I guess let's get this started off. Who here knows what happened leading into this? So FaZe drama. To keep it short for the people that do know what's going on, TLDR. So we know FaZe that exists now is like FaZe Lacey, FaZe, so Lacey is a part of that, Stable Ronaldo, things like that. Essentially, there is an old FaZe, the stuff that I grew up with. So like Faze Rain, Temperrr, who is the subject of the video, as well as like FaZe Adapt, who is a part of the new group now, and he's loving that. But that's kind of like the basic general TLDR of the people involved. Well, Faze Rain ended up coming out with a bit of information, and that was him saying that in a little chat between him and Temperrr back in 2021-22, they were in the car. Faze Rain was talking about like the big three things that he would never, like, he'll be your boy, he'll be your brother for everything except these three things, which is grape, touching kids, or like animal abuse. In which response to that was Temperrr saying, I had a threesome with two 16-year-olds. Huge thing. So it's like, oh my god, I don't know about this Try Guys thing drama. Let me know about that. Send it in the Discord. Also, if we have a mod here, send the link to the Discord. If you're 18 and up, come join. But TLDR, this goes crazy. Temperrr ends up making a response. He walks it back, or not walks it back, but he rebuts with, well, actually, she was 17, which it's legal in New York to, like, the age of consent is 17, and the other individual, the other 16-year-old, watched, which arguably not much better. This turns into, also, they were drinking. He said that they were at a 21-plus club. They had multiple conversations. Rain had brought this up and had an issue with it. He had so much of an issue that he left FaZe. Keep in mind, he was one of the original guys that started the group. Like, he was one of the OGs. He ends up leaving because they don't remove Temperrr. So all of this has happened. Again, it's covered in my video. Go check it out. Shameless plug. But where we are at today, a couple of things happen. And the first thing chronologically has to do with a post that I believe Rain had taken down, but Temperrr still has it up on his account, so I'll bring it over to there. Because it is kind of like the start of the new shit. So, oh, there we go. This is Temperrr now. He has switched his profile picture to show his kid, which Rain kind of has an issue with. But he says, I'm glad we can agree I don't deserve this label. Thanks for the apology, I guess. Thanks for ruining my life. Now, this clip, Rain had originally posted, and a lot of people were saying, oh, it looks like FaZe Rain has apologized for is taking back the allegations and the claims that he was making about Temperrr with all this going on. And this is, I'm just going to show you a bit of the video here.
With Emma, which is Tommy's wife and his the mother of his child. And she was so cool, so rational, so understanding. she was just, pouring her heart out to me, venting and talking about how this has affected her life, And that's what a lot of people tend to forget, is how much these things affect people's real lives. I know it's just Twitter to you guys, you're just weighing in on an opinion. You type some shit, you move on, you type some other shit on a different thing. But it really does affect these people's lives, bro, especially when it's something this sensitive, So please keep that in mind. But I do want to say this. I want to first and foremost retract the statement that I called him a pedophile, because that wasn't fair to do. By the way, I wiped my fucking camera. I don't know what the fuck is still happening. Okay? I wiped my fucking camera. I don't know what's happening. But it's not fair to label somebody as a pedophile, especially when they supposedly did not know this girl's age. I've known Tommy for 15 years. It's not like he ever went around preying on young girls or telling me he likes young girls or any of these things. So that's why I was such a shock when he told me what he told me. He just never told me that he didn't know their ages. If he did, it'd be a whole different story. It'd be a whole different story if he didn't know their ages, right?
So this sounds very interesting, right? He's kind of walking back the severity at which that he was talking about things. And you could see this even in the original responses that he was making, where he was talking about, he was like watching in real time as Temperrr put out his second statement about this. Let me actually jump over to that, where he says that he didn't know their age. This was that clip here.
After that, Emma and it was just extremely uncomfortable knowing that I was 17. I slept with one of them, and I found out after that this girl was 17.
Okay, so why is Rain going on this entire tirade and all that? Because keep in mind, they had had this conversation where he said it was two 16-year-olds, and then a year after that, he had hopped into a call, kind of because of Banks, FaZe Banks. He'd hopped in a call with FaZe Banks, Temperrr himself, Rain, and Apex, where this guy then said that he changed his story from the two 16-year-olds, as Rain has been claiming, and says that it was a 17-year-old and the other watched. At no point during either of these conversations does Temperrr say that he didn't know their age. That's been like the point of contention. It's like you had every opportunity, and anybody in this position, I don't know, I haven't heard yet anybody else that would be like, oh yeah, if I was in that position where I wasn't told, like they didn't tell me their age and whatnot, and I found out after the fact, that would be the first thing out of my mouth whenever I'm addressing this to anybody, especially close friends. So Rain kind of like, oh, well, if it's like you didn't know their age, that's a completely different story. And he's like, it was a 21 plus club, which was also new. And apparently there's another individual that's going to be important later for today named Bezo, who had went alongside Temperrr to this club. Now, trying to like get my thoughts in order here. So the next big thing is obviously Rain posts that, and people are like, okay, so all of the claims that you were making about Temperrr are horseshit. Like, you're apologizing for them, you're retracting them. And Rain makes a response. I think the most important first part here is that, so Temperrr here, right? He does this. Let me see. Let me move this. Yeah. He's kind of going scorched earth. So right, Temperrr responds to this video, and he goes, I'm glad we can agree I don't deserve this label. Thanks for the apology, I guess. Thanks for ruining my life. Now, Rain responds and makes a reply, and I quote, let's zoom it in a bit. You effed that kid and had no remorse. Why I haven't talked to you since. You said you had a threesome with two 16-year-olds and then said it was only a 17-year-old, and you said it to sound cool. Oh, yes, keep in mind, when he corrected his story a year after in that group call with FaZe Banks and Apex, Rain, to the corroboration, or at least to the lack of disagreement with Banks, who was like, oh, okay, said that in that call, Temperrr said, if I said it was two 16-year-olds, if I said it was a threesome, it was to sound cool. So that's what he's referencing. Does someone who feels disgusted think it's cool to drop the age and add a victim to sound cool? You're an actual piece of shit. I only posted this because your wife called me crying for 4 hours begging me to. I offered to pay for your bills for you because I felt at fault with you losing your $20,000 a month from FaZe. Tell the whole truth while you're at it, including Bianca and the family's lives you almost took drunk driving. Go on, or I'll do it for you. So now he's referencing something that has not even been touched. That's fucking crazy. We haven't, I don't think, heard anything further from that, but he talks about this 4-hour call with his wife begging him to retract the statement, things like that. What are we talking about here? Yeah, it does just get worse out of the blue. He hasn't addressed this yet again. Doesn't change the fact that Temperrr hasn't taken accountability or responsibility. True, right. Remember, legal in New York, as he said, except the laws that he is paraphrasing or like trying to reference do not apply to if you're drunk or if the other member is drunk. I think it's just if any of them are. So not looking good regardless. So this turns into FaZe ends up going live. I didn't see a ton of clips from this out like to kind of talk about him in this call with Temperrr's wife for 4 hours. Getting that information, getting that context, I think is really useful because it really helps you understand why he made that video doing the retraction, and he makes it very clear what his stance on it is. And so I want to include parts of that from the beginning of his stream where he addressed it. And this is that stream.
Why, by the way, I look crazier because
So hold on here.
I'm not dragging drama, bro. It's just I'm not gonna have somebody put that shit on my name when I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And please, bro, if y'all, the reason I'm going on live is so I can answer any single question, because every time I post a video, there's a million other questions. So I want to answer all of your questions, bro. And if you guys post that on Twitter, send it to these clips, I don't give a fuck, bro. Because I handled it wrong by the way I went about it. And I handled it wrong by taking that 4-hour phone call yesterday. Here, let me show you guys the text with his wife. I don't have her number saved, so let me just put an E over her name. Hold up. Okay, E over her name. Look, bro. Even blew my shit up, bro. Like, trying to film it.
Okay, yeah.
I should have known it, bro. I should have fucking known it. I should have known it. Like, she's sending me fucking baby videos. The sooner the better.
So she's like doing what he's saying. Again, this is, what he's saying. He gets into a phone call with her. She is like scream crying, like in, like a horrible moment. And she's sending videos of their kid. Their kid is plastered everywhere. It's not like he's exposing what their kid looks like. She is responding to him, I'm assuming after the phone call, and says, the sooner the better, truly. And he says, been trying to film it since we hung up. She says, I really appreciate it. It gets worse. He says, posting it right now. She said, thank you for doing that. I would appreciate you taking down the old one. Now, it's very clear. And look, I'm not going to say if the wife here is being malicious. I think she's very much, running in her best interest here because they lost that $20,000 a month. From what I understand, Rain also brought up that they had been like separated into different housing. Temperrr and his wife, I believe this was, this was before any of this information had come out. But so she's very clearly, and I'm not saying that this is a wrong thing, but acting in self-interest. She doesn't want this to, reflect poorly on the kid or, them growing up, what this could mean for any money coming in from FaZe. I can understand that, but it's very clear based on the story that Rain is showing here, what's going on here. So first, not to say it publicly and now to retract it, but he keeps letting people guilt him into doing things. He does. And for what that is worth, for Rain to be allowing people to kind of guilt him into making decisions, he's very clearly doesn't seem to be doing that anymore. But from what it seems like, at the very least, it's consistent behavior, and it's not him choosing to change the story, because at the end of the day, he doesn't change the story. He's just making it clear that he doesn't think that Temperrr is a repeat offender. But people hear that and hear the way that he kind of was softening the blow and assume that he's walking back what he was saying, which I don't blame people. But if, again, you listen to the video that I was showing you guys that Temperrr had, retweeted and replied to, he's not saying that the claims that he made were untrue. He's also just adding the context that if he didn't know, then that is a completely different story. And he's saying if. He's not saying that for sure he didn't know, because he also doesn't believe that. We'll continue on.
Better, truly. Been trying to film it since we hung up. He's like, I really appreciate that. I said, posting it right now. And she said, thank you for doing that. I would appreciate you taking down the old one. Brother, when I tell you how many tries it took me to make that video, because it was just hard for me to say that, but I just kept thinking about that baby boy. I offered to fucking pay their bills because she's like, oh, we now lost $20,000 a month from FaZe. I offered to pay their fucking bills for them because I felt bad for the kid and her, not even for him, because I know he did what he did. Right now, he's just going with plausible deniability, saying that, well, no, they post the kid all the time. They post the kid all the time, so it's not a big deal. If you go to their Instagrams and shit, they have videos of it. It's not like I'm exposing what the baby looks like. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's anything new.
Now, you can take this for what it is. I just want to present this because I want to be fair to both sides of this. Rain talking about being willing to pay for their stuff and like, yeah, I feel bad and I feel like it's my fault that you're losing this $20K a month. The fact that he's bringing up offering to pay that money is a bit interesting. And I'm just saying that because in comparison to what he was kind of giving Banks shit for, which I was also kind of in agreement with, was when Banks first came out with his statement being like, this isn't about me, this is about Temperrr, I've always been there for Rain. He talks about how he was like offering to pay for like Faze Rain. He was offering to pay him money when he was like down and out and doing this stuff. And he got rejected for, you know, like actually paying his stuff, but he was like trying to show that he was a good friend. Well, in this case, Faze Rain is doing the same thing. Like, I'm not going to speak to the intention of it, but he is describing him offering to pay $20K a month to, at the very least, the wife and child, not Temperrr directly. And she ended up saying no to that, which is like, that's kind of exactly the same thing that Banks was doing. And he called him out and said that that was weird and that he didn't need to do that. And so I want to keep that fair, that he's also doing that same thing. I think that should just be recognized.
She's sending me those videos to feel bad. She's sending me those videos to feel bad. And brother, I'm overly empathetic. I don't know what you want from me. I'm overly fucking empathetic. So when I have a mother crying hysterically, telling me how I don't want my son to get bullied, I don't want this happening, I just felt bad. So she's like, can you please just retract the pedophile statement? Like, so I just did it for the kid, bro. And that's my bad for having too much empathy. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that, bro. But I felt so bad. And as soon as I did it and I realized, what do you mean cap? It's exactly what fucking happened. Bro, these people are actually so demonic. It's so fucked up.
And so he's under the assumption, he believes that he was like taken advantage of and that they used his empathy, clearly he feels intense guilt about things. Like that's kind of the whole reason that any of this shit hit the fan. And even in that, we also saw Banks also doing that to him. When they all originally found out, like from Rain, Banks' first thing as the CEO of the company, as the decision maker, was like, what should I do, Rain? When Temperrr said that he would off himself if this information came to light, they got off the call and Banks was saying, please don't come out with this information because I genuinely think that Temperrr will off himself. And this is like, again, this is also very much speculation. Again, it's just all about these conversations that were had. That's like repeatedly they're using Rain's guilt, or like Rain's guilt has been able to stop him from making choices that otherwise people would be like, you should be making those decisions. Like coming to light with this information sooner because they were brothers, they were super close, and he's got Banks, you know, one of his other people telling him, hey, don't do this. And so I think at the very least, again, Rain is consistent with how guilt impacts him, things like that in this context. But that's kind of like the gist of his response to it. And you're actually going to hear it a few times in the stream and clips that we're going over today. And he's going to repeatedly say, none of my story changed. I just retracted calling him a pedo. Like, that's it. That is the only big change that has happened. None of the rest. Well, he's backing off of that entirely as well. He's essentially like, all of this was done to just manipulate me. Fuck that. I don't feel bad about it anymore. And he's been doing a bit of research. And so do you guys remember? Matter of fact, I should probably bring this up unless he deleted the VOD. So in that original, okay, let's circle back a little bit. FaZe, Banks, and Rain hop into a phone call. Actually, matter of fact, I might be able to pull in some of this from my own video. Because I did unfortunately see, I've been keeping my tabs open. He deleted a few things. I think he deleted the VOD where he's chatting with FaZe Banks. Let me see if it's still up. Oh my god, the ads are so dumb. Okay. Does he keep it? I think he deleted it. Yeah, it looks like he deleted it. Okay, so that's fine. I could just pull up my own video. I'm glad I cover shit. Okay, so one of the... We'll come back onto here. This is going to be a bit weird. I'm behind myself right now. So, as their conversations, here we go.
It's so dumb that it sounds like something I could hear Tommy in an unironic way, like saying, like...
For...
They had all... Yep.
God knows what... Me, you, Apex... I'll kill
you. Remember that?
Literally crazy that has no having to deny tweet that to me was
to be like maybe.
Shut up, dude.
Maybe.
So me, Tommy, or me.
I talked to him today.
True. It doesn't matter.
I'm not saying you.
FaZe Rain thing in being there.
Your response, what would you want me to do?
Words. And then we never even had that group call.
Talking about the guild.
September 4th clip from us. And for 18-year-old girls nightclub friend was like there, but we didn't.
Okay. This is the bit. So he's talking about Bezo. Sorry, it took me a sec.
After the fact that she was 17.
This is their Discord call that FaZe Rain had streamed.
And her friend was like there, but we didn't hook up, whatever. And he was like, there wasn't, you guys' stories weren't corroborated. That's true or untrue, by the way.
So we heard this from FaZe Rain, right? That Temperrr told him that it was 216.
What happened? We're in his car. I'm confused. That's what I said. 22.
Oh. Yeah.
But you know what he said though? The nightclubs. I don't even know where you just got that from. What he said, by the way, on the call.
He said him and Bezo went out New York.
Also, okay, so it's crazy you say that. Bezo. That's so weird. You fuck.
Bezo. So this is referenced in the Banks call, right? He starts freaking out. Well, he ends up messaging. Bezo starts talking. So like people have been like pushing back, like some people are now denying or like saying that FaZe Rain's timeline of events isn't true. Bezo, who gets referenced even by Banks himself, starts sending messages to Rain, saying things like, I know that he's a pedo and I knew that he knew. Like crazy shit that that again, he was the only other person that's been referenced to being with Temperrr that night when everything went down. So we go by, why do I have Randy Pitchford up here? But so let me pull this up here. Well, he also apparently got in contact with one of the individual. So he got in contact with someone who went to the same high school as those girls did. And we're coming to find out that allegedly this had happened actually pre-COVID, which would mean that the ages, again, this is, I would say this is the weakest part simply because it's just somebody on Twitter. But they end up having a little bit of discussion here. I'll show it on stream, where that would put their ages at 15 and 16, because happening pre-COVID would have lowered their ages. It's like genuinely a lot worse. But so has that, we have this conversation. Sorry, I got to make sure I got my ducks in a row here. Let me pull over to FaZe Rain. Around 2018, 2019, correct. Yeah. Let me pull over here.
Top tweet just to put it to end because it is actually so.
Okay, so let's start with this. He made a. Oh yes, perfect. Found it. I don't know why this wasn't in that same place. So Rain posts a tweet. This is the one where it was like, oh shit, it's going down. It gets worse. I got the girls' names, the high school they were in when he did what he did. Spoke to witnesses on both sides. People are too afraid to speak up, but I'm not. It happened in 2019. Girls were born in 03 and 04. I don't blame you guys for being skeptical. I encourage skepticism. To think I would ever lie on anyone's name, let alone someone who did something as disgusting as this, is sad. Shame on your intuitions. Anything I've ever brought to the public has always and will always be 100% truth. Going live now to disclose all of the evidence. So that is a crazy allegation to make, especially when you know somebody is lawyered up. I'm just saying, like, just general common sense. Well, he does end up going live, and he does end up starting to introduce some of this information that he's talking about.
Brother, this guy is a piece of fucking shit. And I'm so glad this shit came out because I don't feel bad at all no more, bro, because of the way that he tried to throw me under the bus for trying to expose a fucking pedophile, man. For me trying to do that, trying to throw me under the bus like I did something wrong, bro, is so fucking wrong. You can even see it. Before I even get into this, let me just show you guys what this dude changed his fucking Twitter to. What is his whole...
So he's really mad, number one, because he's seeing that Temperrr has changed his profile picture to showing his kid, which is like he thinks that he's like emotionally manipulating people. He's trying to like, you know, pull in... What is that called?
Fucking kid as your scapegoat to your pedophilic acts, dude. You're such a fucking loser and scumbag. All you do is do shit like this. It's why they even gaslit me into fucking taking back my initial statement of labeling him a pedophile. I never took back everything I stood on. I tried to take the label away because his wife was on the phone with me crying and begging me to take that label away. Okay, that's why I did it. I regret it. It was a mistake. And I realized immediately how stupid I was. I didn't even hit up any of my friends and showed them the video. I just did it like an idiot. And I regret that. I never should have.
Now, like, personal opinion, he's very clear about like why he did XYZ. I think it does do a little bit of damage to his credibility in this if he like is so flippantly able to switch. But at the same time, given how he reacted to it and the fact that he was able to come with receipts, he had this phone call with his wife in like he's talking about this. He showed the messages of her showing the kid and like begging him to release this, you know, apology retraction thing, followed into you should delete the old stuff. I'm led to give his story and his argument for why he did that and the fact that he regrets that. I give that a bit of credit. You don't have to. You guys could have a different perspective on that entirely. I'm completely open to that. Again, this is all a lot of he said, she said talking. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I, for the most part, understand and see where he's coming from and understand why he did that and the fact that he is saying, no, I take it back. That's a crock of shit. I'm kind of in tune with that.
Fucking did that for his wife and his son. I didn't do it for Tommy. I did it for his wife and his son, okay? I'm stupid for that. I am. I should have never retracted the label because now it got worse. I don't even think one of them was 17, by the way. So the events that he told me where he said in 2023, he said it was a year before that. It has now been thrown out the window. This did not happen post-COVID. This happened pre-COVID. I talked to two separate people, the guy that was with him and the people that were in her class that saw all these Instagram stories go up when she was with Tommy. And Tommy used to follow them on Instagram. And I actually, after he said them, like, wait, he did say that. He did say that he followed them on Instagram. I completely forgot because I was so focused on the main.
Completely forgot. Now, talking about him having eidetic memory and stuff, I think that's kind of pushing it into it. But now, again, this is just from the claims, and we'll show that information in a sec. But the claims that he's making about this other person that went to high school with them, they have a brief DM like conversation. He shows some screenshots, which, I mean, they could be faked. Like, I'm not going to act like that isn't true. Given the context, it'd be strange to focus in on this specific moment to like get your clout by faking the screenshots in this like very niche example. But I'll show them in a sec. The important thing to note is that apparently Temperrr was following these girls, like these 15-year-old, 16-year-old girls, after the interaction had happened, after the supposed threesome had happened, which doesn't really fall in line with I feel disgusting, etc., etc. But I digress.
Details. I forgot about the Instagram part of it. So I asked both of them separately, was this post or pre-COVID? Both of them said pre-COVID. So this happened in 2019. The guy who was with Tommy has proof of the date. He has proof that it was 2019 because, listen, I did not want anything bad to happen to Tommy, him go to jail or whatnot, but because of the way that he has tried to throw me under the bus for just trying to expose all the bullshit that he did, brother, I want you to face the full extent of the law. I do. I am pressing charges. I am doing everything above because this man needs to pay. This man needs to pay for what he did. I also gave him an opportunity to go public.
Now, the other interesting thing about that, the thing that I think is a lot more important, is this other individual who is with him. He doesn't outright say his name. I think that may be out of respect, but it's kind of like, it's Bezo. Like, everyone knows it's Bezo. He had talked about it. He accidentally showed, he showed the messages and then immediately read below that he was like, please don't, put me out on public. It's already out of the bag. Bezo is the individual that was with him. So I would say above anybody's retelling of the story outside of Tommy's, which again has already been put into, has been put in the crosshairs and has kind of just been ripped apart over and over and over again, Bezo would be the guy. And out of anyone to lie for the sake of clout or doing any of that stuff, Bezo, it wouldn't make sense. He was the person there. He would be, getting his friend completely ripped apart and just completely destroyed reputationally across the board. Why would he do that just for the sake of it? And he is the individual, which he's going to show messages from, that is saying, no, I know that he knew. I know that he knew their ages. That is a load of shit. And I know that they were younger than the 17 that Temperrr was saying. That to me has a lot more credibility than some dude on Twitter saying that he was, friends with these gals or went to the same high school and knew about this stuff. What's up, Robbie?
And admit what he's done before I do it for you. Before I do it for you. Here, I'm going to show everything now. Let me just show everything right now. Stream if he'd like. This is a DM.
Okay. So this is the original DMs that he had kind of introduced earlier. This is between him and I believe Bezo. So I'll just, read through it quick. Yo, I have actually, hold on here. Yeah, he said, yo, I have a question. I'm so sorry. Just now saw these DMs. What's good? I think I will let him, because he's actually going to introduce some of the context. I'm going to let Rain walk through these DMs. He provides a bit more context with them.
I saw somebody tweet about in 2024, probably a month before this, I saw him tweet about someone in FaZe having a threesome with two 16-year-olds. And I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, what are the chances that I read something like that? It has to be the same person. I couldn't believe it. Okay. Oh, and by the way, yeah, outside of Alex, forget everything I said about Alex yesterday. Me and him talked on the phone today for like an hour. I fucking love Alex. That's my brother. We always figure things out. It's good. Don't worry about it. But
what he's referencing right there, he's been getting really uppity, like Faze Rain is, to, like, again, look at both sides of this. He's been getting really uppity. Lacey said some dumb shit. If you guys don't know, Lacey is a part of, essentially new FaZe. Said some stuff like, take FaZe out of your name, talking to FaZe Rain, Temperrr, all these people, because they're not a part of the org anymore, technically, but they're like the founders of it. So Rain essentially was just like, fuck you. The whole reason that you have a platform that you're doing as well as you are is because you're, a part of the company that I fucking built. And everyone gives credit to Rain for that, but he kind of got like amped about that. And then Adapt, who's one of the other new FaZe members, he was like, he threw shit at Adapt. Adapt responded, blah, blah, blah. But he's saying there's no beef with them. He didn't know, things like that. Which is most important to me because I like Adapt.
anyways, this is October 7th, 2024. This is moments after Tommy threatened to off himself if I ever expose this shit. Just letting you guys know that. This is moments after Tommy threatened to off himself if I ever spoke up against this. And also, somebody made a great point to me. He said he tried to lie and say I blackmailed him. Okay, if I blackmailed you, what would I blackmail you for? If I don't have anything, what am I blackmailing you for? Are people not thinking? I mean, shit, I honestly, but you're a scum. He said, what's good? A long time ago, I saw you post and was mind blown you knew. Something about a FaZe member and 16-year-olds has to be the same person I'm talking about. Because I found out a year or so ago and I've low-key been fucked up over it and not known what to do. Okay, and this was October 2024. Before I even started streaming, before anybody says, oh, you're doing this for clout, you're doing this for money. Yeah, bro, a year in advance, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start streaming next year, and then I can use this as my moment for stream. And let me just say I'm fucked up now, so that in a year, people will know that I did it for money. You're an idiot. You people are stupid. Stupid people. But anyways, I found it a year ago or so, and I've low-key been fucked up over it and not knowing what to do. Who's the person you're talking about? Bro, LMFAO, can you say it so I know you actually know, but I feel like there's no way you don't know. Tell me the letter their name starts with. I really don't want to get involved in drama and something that happened 6+ years ago.
No. I know Adapt is not new. No. So Adapt was a part of the OG crew. Like, he literally was. He stopped, like, he kind of went away for a while. He came back. He was close to the OGs. Like, I watched him growing up. But he is now a part of the new FaZe. Like, he kind of had made a return, and he's just loving working with the new FaZe crew. And he was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes too, leading into that. What's up, Mame? So that's what I meant. Miscommunication. MW2 days, exactly. So that's what I meant by Adapt. He was kind of a part of the beginning group, like towards middle to the end of it, and now he's a part of the newer set of people that are in.
Even though it was fucked. Well, hang on. It was not 6 years ago. I found out last. Tell me the letter their name starts with. I really don't want to get involved in drama and something that happened 6+ years ago, even though it was fucked. Well, hang on. It was not 6 years ago. I found out last year, and he told me it was a year ago from then. Max 3. Okay? But now we found out, after talking to both parties, it did happen in 2019. Tommy must actually be that fried. He wasn't able to tell the difference between 2022 and 2019, or he did it twice. Or he did it in.
So it seems like maybe it's two things here. I don't even know if Rain is going to bring it up or say it, but it could also be that he's talking about 6 years ago because he was there. Like he like, or not like there, but like he heard about it after the fact, which is why he made this tweet in 2024 that I know about this like FaZe, member that's up with 2 16-year-olds, because Bezo was the other person there.
In 2022, and he did it in 2019. That I don't know. That I don't know. But all I know is that he told me it was a year before he told me, which he told me in 2023. So here.
Also, just sorry, really quick. I don't think it makes more sense that what Rain is arguing. I think he's just kind of being a bit, salacious with it, saying that there were 2 separate instances of this. It'd be crazy on 2 separate occasions to have a threesome with 2 16-year-olds. I don't think that there's much more weight to that other than like the timeline of events is a bit fried based on either Temperrr himself or the fact that when he told Rain, he said that it happened after COVID for the sake of like making them seem, well, no, he still said they were 16. I'm not sure about that. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm not sure.
Listen, this was 2019. Okay. And then he said, well, yeah, it's a different person probably. I said, ... What are the chances, though? You said threesome with 2 16-year-olds. No? Your name will never be brought anywhere about I just want to know how you knew. And then he said a 16 and a 17-year-old, which, by the way, I'm not even sure if this is true. We're about to get to this. But technically, by law, it was legal, I believe, in the state, but technically not because they were drunk. You probably know, but in America, it's illegal to have sex with anyone under 21 under the influence of anything. I said, FaZe owner, ? He said, owner, ? No, but that's as far as I'll go. I don't want to get involved. No problem, G. Appreciate you. Super fucked up. Okay. I later saw him confirm on Twitter that he said he didn't invite the girls under drama related with us. So it confirmed to me 100% that he was talking about Tommy. Okay. Brother, I have the DMs on my phone. I can literally open up Twitter. This is AI. Like, bro, I'm exposing pedo shit and you're saying AI. Like, you're sick in the fucking head. You're sick in the fucking head. Okay. So this is what me and him talked about last night.
He starts getting amped, but now this is the new shit. This is what he was talking about here. This is what I was talking about at the beginning.
I can fully confirm it happened pre-COVID. This is 6 a.m. for me, bro. That's how late I was up talking to people trying to find out the truth. This is how late I was up nonstop messaging people trying to get to the bottom of this. I can fully confirm it happened pre-COVID 2019. You there? I was actually sleeping at this point, but I messaged before that, 4:54. And I have proof of that too. But to be honest, I know everything, but I don't know if I want to talk. I want to because I can't afford to have my name.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I need to need to turn that off. And here we go. I just need to turn off Steam notifications. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Back to it.
In the middle of a loss happened pre-COVID 2019. You there? I was actually sleeping at this point, but I messaged before that, 4:54. And I have proof of that too. But to be honest, I know everything, but I don't know if I want to talk. I want to because I can't afford to have my name in the middle of a lawsuit, and he has like some lawsuit going on. The only piece of information I'll give you now is he's lying through his teeth when he said he didn't know. But there's so much more, and I have proof of a lot of it. So I pray, brother, you come forward as it's the right thing to do.
So that's a fucking crazy thing to say. Not only to say this guy is lying through his teeth, but to say that I have proof of that. It is a crazy thing to say. I'm always looking at this from the perspective of, okay, let's say I was fucking around, right? Like, because the other argument is that it's fake or that it's bullshit or this person's just saying shit to say shit. Now, when you're talking about allegations that are as serious as this, as having like not just, intercourse with one underage individual who's like 16 years old, but having it with 2 who are now potentially 15 to 16 since it was pre-COVID, to just make this shit up, to just like, oh, like I'm just doing this to get clout and to pull that in. Number one, it's like saying like, don't put my name out there. I can't, I've got a lawsuit that I'm going through. That's crazy. You are setting yourself up to just completely speedrun terminate your own reputation for the sake of like getting a few views. So when it comes to making allegations this heavy, especially with these people, and they're not doing it full chest, they're not going out and just saying shit publicly, I struggle to find the justification or I don't, and maybe this kind of thinking can bite me in the ass because it's not tangible, it's not provable, but to make allegations and to make claims that you have proof of something this heinous, when you could completely get, clapped back and just essentially bankrupted if you go to court about this, leads me to believe that there has to be a little bit of something, or at the very least that this person believes that they legitimately have that proof. It's like as far as I'm willing to go with that. Again, that could still end up being meaningless if they are, but I'm led to believe that they wouldn't be bullshitting about that, or at the very least they don't believe they're bullshitting. So like they said here though, but to be honest, I know everything, but I don't know if I want to talk. I want to, but because I can't afford to have my name, I'm in the middle of a lawsuit with an old friend who stole a lot of money from me, and I can't give him any ammunition. That's like, that is the toughest part. Like, they're in a lawsuit, so maybe this shit ends up coming out in the future. So, oh, why are we talking about Destiny? Speedrun going to jail because Destiny was your roommate. You would get him laid all the time. What? What is going on right now? My entire retirement was tied up in FaZe stocks. Am I cooked? Certainly. Oh, I'm cracking jokes. Okay. So this information comes out, and then we also have this second part. Well, actually, I'll just let him finish up. I don't think he has anything.
I pray that you come forward and come on my stream, or just make a public statement. Not even fuck my stream. Just make a public statement and expose this guy for the scumbag he is. Sorry, our ads on. I turned them off yesterday, I thought. No, they're off. I have them off. Anything that's on Twitch is pre-running. I have no business with any ads being run. It is the bar is all the way at off since my last stream. Okay. This is the next thing. This guy responded under my tweet, and I had conversation. This is the guy that gave.
So now he's going to go over, like I said, he's going to explain it himself, but he's going to go over this individual that was saying that I went to the same high school as like this girl or these girls.
Me the school name. He went to school with these girls. This guy gave me their names. I have everything. I went to the same high school as the girl. I remember her posting stories with him in the club at NYC. My friends and I all flamed him in our group chats because we knew she was in the 9th grade, which is crazy. I hope she's not in the 9th grade. She posted the sunrise at 6 a.m. next day from his penthouse view. Okay. 9th grade would make her like 15. Stop lying. Not lying. I was a senior and these girls were all younger, and yeah, there's a chance she was 15. It was years ago. And I never knew her age, only the age of the two friends she went with, who were 16, 17. By the way, the two friends were a grade older, so yeah, she was 15 or newly 16. Okay? And then this is a group chat conversation of him and his friends in an iMessage group chat. Yo, wasn't this the motherfucker chilling with that one blonde girl from our high school when she was like 16 or 17? I think that's the name. I think that's the name that he gave me. I'm trying to like read it because.
Okay, so here's the other big thing about this. Now, and he's gonna point this out later. The screenshot, and again, could be fake. I'm led to believe not, but like, be fair about it and take it with a grain of salt. They're saying all of this stuff is happening, and they're taking a screenshot showing Temperrr making this video talking about this. So this is before like Rain is like going hard in the paint about anything else. This is them just saying stuff about like, okay, it was Temperrr. This is the person. He makes this response, and these people are now talking about it seemingly in a group chat. Yo, wasn't this motherfucker chilling with that one blonde girl from our high school and she was like 16 or 17? They give her name, forgot her name. If this isn't about her, then he's been getting duped by these underage girls for a minute now. And so that's another person referencing, like, okay, well, if it isn't them, it's definitely some underage girls, because like we remember hearing that story too. And someone says, I remember, and someone said, yo, it's definitely about her. Like, again, small like ounce of clout to be getting out of this and faking this, and especially since this was like prior to Rain like going really hard in the paint about all of this, just it kind of makes that timeline for me, gives it a bit of like, you know, surrounding context credibility, but not directly proving if these are true or not.
What I know. Forgot her name. If this isn't about her, then he's been getting duped by these underage girls for a minute.
What is, okay. 9th grade will be freshman, so 14, 15. Right. Glad or not, okay. George Oswald, just simmer with the jokes. We're good. We're chilling.
Now, I remember, yo, it's definitely about her, LMAO. Obviously, these guys are just kids, and they don't understand the magnitude of this situation because, you know, they're still young. Damn, do you think he knew their age prior? Bro, you could take at least one look at them and tell they were 16, or at least underage. Also, everybody needs to ask, if he found out they were all minors next day, why did he follow her on IG and stay following her for weeks? My friends and I would see him in her follower list. Drunk at 21 Club, 21 Plus Club. By the way, it's all a lie that his lawyers have advised him to say to have plausible deniability. They are telling.
From what I understand, Rain doesn't actually fucking know that. like Rain doesn't actually know this information. He's just saying, like, he's saying it as it's fact. I don't think that he has spoken with the same lawyer that Temperrr is supposedly talking to. I don't even know if that's true. So just take that with a grain of salt.
Him to say it was a 21 plus club. They are telling him to say it was 17 and he wasn't aware of the age. Brother, let's pretend you are my friend. Let's pretend you are my friend and you have told me that you've now had a threesome with two 16-year-olds. Would you wait 2 years till it went public in order for you to say, I didn't know? Or would you constantly, and I mean constantly, reiterate the fact that you didn't know their age if you truly were innocent? It's the first thing you're telling me.
Yeah, which is also, again, what we talked about in my original
These
video.
people just don't know how to think. They're trying to use something against me in 2020. So fucking hard of the last 5, bro. I stand up for what's right. I'm sorry you mix that being with shit-faced drunk. You wouldn't know. Okay, I'm a 21-year-old. So I don't care what type of things you're trying to say on my name. You're wrong. And I don't care. And I would never do that shit to you. But anyways, let's get back into it. You're shot, bro. It's very easy to tell a teenager apart from a 21-year-old. He knew she wasn't 21. Just didn't investigate because she was dumb, clout-thirsty teen. Don't be so naive. Nah, some 16-year-olds look older. Mix that being with shit-faced drunk, you wouldn't know. Okay. Check his hard drives. Nobody mixes up a 16-year-old with a 21-year-old, but okay, whatever you say. Did that one? Okay. So I DM'd him. I followed him and DM'd him. Yo, you're not trolling. It's like I put 100,000% true. Bro, it's 10,000% true. 3 girls, New York City Club, 2018. Well, he got 2018 wrong. It was 2019. He's actually unsure if it was 2018 or 19, but based on both sides, it's 2019 for sure, especially because the person that was with Tommy is certain it's 2019. I'm assuming he has a photo with Tommy at that club, so he's just looking through the timestamp of the photo, which tells him it's 2019. And my boys and I were all FaZe fans, so we thought it was crazy when we all went to the girls' IG followers and saw the verified FaZe Temperrr account. All 5 of my friends vividly remember laughing and sharing the story and the screenshots, but don't have any of those screenshots anymore. And also, like, I know you might be like, why are they laughing about it? Well, because they're high school kids and they don't understand that.
Now, again, and this is just the word of the individual that's coming forward with it all, who's like getting to talk to Rain, and as he already stated, thought it was crazy that we saw the verified FaZe Temperrr like account actually following them. They were fans of these people too. So he might, acknowledge that that is also existing, but also what he is about to say in this message.
The magnitude of well, at that time, I guess if it was 2019, Tommy was born in 93, so he would have been 26 years old. Okay, he would have been 26 years old when this happened. So he's not 29. I guess when he told me it was 2022 that it happened, he would have been 29. But now, since it's 2019, he would have been 26 years of age, okay? All 5 of my friends vividly remember laughing and sharing the story and screenshots, but don't have any of those screenshots anymore. Also, I have a nice paying job and I'm on a burner, so I don't get anything from my name dropping and helping you. So I'm honestly even reluctant to continue this conversation unless you can ensure my anonymity. 2 of the girls were sophomores in high school and 1 was a freshman. Okay? I have a question though. Was it after COVID or pre-COVID, do you remember? This is before I showed him the screen recording of the other person I was talking to about the situation. He said pre-COVID. So that also tells me 2019. It checks out. It's pre-COVID. Everybody can kind of remember.
So, like you said, unless this guy's a serial sex offender, lol, but the story lines up too perfectly. All 3 girls were out partying that night, and all of them posted stories like crazy because they were so geeked and clout thirsty. So he goes here, just saying, 3 of my friends pretty much confirmed the ages of the girls, 15, 16, and 16, and all newly 16 and 15. If this dude's saying he mixed up a 15, 16-year-old with a 21-year-old, he's straight up lying. Dude, so it was 3 girls, not 2? Dude, he's been lying the whole time, dog. I'm an extremely reasonable dude, and if he said he didn't know their ages and was being sincere, I'd believe him. He never once mentioned he wasn't aware. He bragged about it. He said, nah, if they're saying it's 2 girls, it's definitely 2. We all couldn't remember the 3rd girl and were confused. They said, then went back, looked at the age of consent, just said, let me say 17, then make up he didn't know / they were in a 21 plus bar. So I think he's talking about, like he's continuing on his own message. Hence why we thought it was a separate incident.
Definitely 2. We all couldn't remember the 3rd girl. I don't know. I said, wait, I'm a high school dropout, remember, so hang on.
So he says, 1 was class of 20. It was like giving like the years that they graduated. He doesn't know what that means for sure. It's like, no, so you're born in 03 and 04. That would make them 15, 16, and 16, 17.
2004. And in 2019, fucking guy, I know a lot of you guys did have my back for sure. LMAO, that's the first thing I thought about. Like it's literally
okay, so these are more of those messages. And you can see like the guy's messaging, yo, this is literally about so-and-so. We were seniors in high school. I don't know if you remember. I peeped LMAO. That's the first thing I thought about. It's literally them. And so he's showing that apparently like these were like super early on when this like stuff just hit the fan. I say super early on, but just like a couple of days ago. And this is, you know, him prior to him like saying anything on any of Faze Rain's accounts, anything like that.
And he sent that when the story broke out.
Just got pause champed.
You guys can do whatever you want with this information. I am continuing to get everybody to speak out. I want the person who was with Tommy that night to speak out. I would love to contact the girls. I have their first and last names. I have the year they were born, and I have the school. I'm going to be contacting the school first thing in the morning to dig up their files to get these girls information based on what happened, and I will take it to the fucking police and try to execute the full extent of the law against this man. I am doing everything in my power to see this man serve justice, because this is so fucking wrong, bro. This is so fucking wrong. He lied his ass off. And this is what I hate more than anything over social media, is it makes it so hard for people to be able to determine what's true and what's not true. When you have this many liars and people that don't stand out for what's right. Just didn't retract your statement. If I have to explain one more time why I retract.
So he gets heated about that, but like, so he's making the claim here, which is pretty important. He's saying that he is going to contact the school of those girls, as he now has their first and last name, and he is going to try to get Temperrr charged for being in this, like for doing this with these two potentially now 15 to 16-year-olds. That is insane. That's a crazy claim to stand on, like especially as he's doing it right now, saying, hey, I am going to do this. I'm going to try to get this man charged, full extent of the law. And it just goes to show, I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy to believe that he would just be doing this for clout, especially like how deep into this hole that he's digging himself. That I think, like, by and large, all in all, potentially, yeah, it could be that. Faze Rain has had some issues in his past. He was like he was a pill popper. It was a really rough time for him, from what I understand. A lot of people have said that. The biggest thing that I've seen is just people keep repeating that he's dragging this on. He's dragging it on. He's talking about it too much and whatnot. And I don't. It's just kind of mind blowing. People are like, "Oh my god, it just happened a couple years ago, whatever." And like I'm reading through tweets and stuff. I was checking out this news as it was going on. I'm like, what do you like? He just keeps posting it. Like, you're just bored of this story. Like, this isn't to, like, you know, morally grandstand on anybody, but it's just like, if your only issue with what is going on is not that Faze, like, Rain is lying about this, it's not if anybody is telling the truth about, you know, calling someone out for potentially being a ped, it's just that he's been talking about it a lot. Like, that's, I don't know, that seems like a horseshit reason to be like, whatever. You can just not care about it. That's totally fine.
And
it's internet.
Listen, not the 15 and 16-year-old girl, okay? So you can try to gaslight me however you please. You're wrong.
And I think that is all the evidence that he brings up. Let me double check.
That shit is fucking in. Call the schools first thing in the morning. Bro, you know how many of these I fucking have? How many truth? Message Tommy where people lie on social media. What kind of fucking bullshit are you on? You're falling for. I do.
And then he just starts arguing with chat, which is, you know, incredible.
Didn't commit these crimes. I tell you to tell me. Everything came to light.
I don't
think.
think.
I'll go through it again.
He's just showing the messages again.
From our high school, which
I don't think that he actually has.
Through a screenshot.
Yeah, he's just showing
the school they went to. You can figure out the date. These files.
Here.
Hold up. Was it this one? I think it was this one.
Okay, and then he's just going over the fight. So that's kind of essentially where we have so far left it off. Let me just double check. I don't think anything else has come out since then. Well, he does have this video.
Let me answer a few. Actually, something I said in that video is I retracted the pedo label. That's it.
Okay, I think we already saw that one. That's pretty much everything that has been so far up to date. But in essence, to bring it all back, TLDR, Rain made a retraction about the label calling Temperrr a pedo. He did this, and then he ends up like taking back this retraction, and kind of like taking this back, and then he gives a bit more context, saying, "Well, the whole reason that I did that is because his wife called me and essentially guilt tripped me over the span of a 4-hour call where she is begging, pleading, and like completely like sobbing and in tears about everything, sending videos of her son." Begging him to retract or like put something out, and then he does, and then she continues asking like, "Can you remove your old one?" This follows into Temperrr like responding to this video that he did put out, and this completely flips Rain. He goes scorched earth, reveals all this. Turns out that he was able to get in contact with one of the people that was with Temperrr the night that he allegedly did this. Well, I said allegedly, but that he did do it with a 17-year-old from what he's claiming. They're saying that he absolutely knew about the ages and that he has proof and that he knows when it happened. And with that information about knowing when it happened, based on what Rain is believing to be the girls that were involved in this situation, they could have been as young as 15 years old, which is that much worse. What pills were he popping? I'm not super sure. You could look it up. I know that people have covered his like previous freakouts and whatnot. What's up with FaZe? Old Temperrr is in the crosshairs. So I'm interested to see the further information coming out. Again, a lot of this stuff, especially the now the thing with, I believe it's Bezo. I could be incorrect, but the person that was with him that night, that interaction that FaZe Rain has had, the information or the messages that he exchanged with him seem out of anything so far to be more interesting to me, a bit more credible, just based on the context that we went over. This other individual saying that he went to high school with them, although I would say it's a bit less credible because they're, kind of nobody. We're just hearing that, yeah, they were from high school. They showed iMessage screenshots. Things have been faked before. I don't personally believe that he's faking them on purpose for any malicious reason, but at the same time, I'm not going to act like that just outright confirms them. So again, take that as it is. But if more of it comes out, I will absolutely be covering it. I've become too invested myself, so I'm going to cover it when it comes out. But that'll wrap that segment, which I'll have recorded and I'll put that out into a video tonight. But we also have, which is crazy. I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure if I will. Have you guys heard about the David stuff? The David story? David, the musician, the artist. I'm sure you guys are familiar. DAV4D. What is it called? In the back of my car. In the back of my mind. Well, so dead body was found in the back of his car. A lot of people were making, it seemed, that he definitely must have just been talking about, or excuse me, it couldn't have been him. He was at a concert somewhere else. For those who don't know, there was a dead body found in the back of his Tesla, which had been impounded. Well, a lot of information has come out, which makes it look a lot worse. From like literally what seems to be screenshots that, like, with the context being provided by the people providing those screenshots, he was paying people off to paying them off to make sure they won't tell about this individual that he was seeing, this girl that he was seeing's age, because she was a minor. That minor is the person that was found in the trunk. We also found out their name, and also it appears that David had made songs about this individual named Celeste. There's so much. They had a matching tattoo on their finger in the exact same place. There is a photo with them taken together. There's so much that has been coming to light, and now it's like a lot of people going, there's no fucking way, because it seemed like, he's completely clear. Doesn't look like that anymore to a startling degree. Now, originally, I didn't plan on covering this. I was thinking maybe just making a video, but if you guys would want to, I can start going over this. Let me see, actually. We should probably, to not catfish viewers, see if we can get a different thumbnail for this. Let's see here. Holy, okay. Let me see here. So I'm gonna have to scramble a bit here. Let me go ahead and change the title of this too. Let's go over here. How are you guys doing this evening? Thoughts, feelings, if you're here, while I make this transition period here. How's the week going for you guys? It's almost Friday. TGI Friday. Let's go. I'll put some music on while I take care of this. My thoughts as well. Better to attempt to contact them privately and getting the side, letting them decide what they want to do. Let's see here. Just joined from Denmark. Damn. Are we covering the pedo singer? It looks like we might be. Let's go back here. I'm tired, boss. I can hear your eyelids being half shut with that one. Working at the moment, but sending big love. What's up, Boy Tiger? Old school hip hop. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Hell yeah. Let me just do this. Go. Vocals, get them out of here. YouTubers get caught with their pants down. It's mind-blowing. Rain is not the victim, nor is he an investigator. If he wants to dig stuff up on behalf of the girls, he should go to them first. I don't necessarily disagree with that. They said that they couldn't find anything relating to the swatting, but they're going to keep looking. What is that in regard to? Swamp Worker, we could labeling pallets, which will take like 1 hour per. Oh, good luck. Okay. Sorry, I just about got the title changed and all that. Getting distracted. Ooh, icky. My own voice. Okay. So you gotta keep looking. Interesting. Or made up being swatted, maybe. Well, it might have just been the phone call, too. Swatting doesn't mean that they showed up to the house, based on what he's talked about. Let's see here. Ooh, probably that's a crazy photo to use. I think I will. Yeah. Definition, the definition of being swatted is the phone call that is made to get you swatted. It is not the police actually showing up. We go here. Okay. Oops. Magic. There we go. The hello? Ooh. Sorry, I'm trying to do this quick and it looks like things were changed. Hello? Sorry, I'm trying to do this quick here. What is this? I gotta go, but I'll be listening on my AirPod. Hell yeah, you guys. Thanks for you for sticking around here. Let me go here. Okay. Okay. And I think I can just... Okay. I think I got something decent. Might be okay here. Okay. This looks really boof. I think I'll be okay though. And then we just need to put this over. Okay. Oh, where did I do it at? Oh no. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is such a generic one. I'm sorry. I just want to get started with it. I'm gonna head out. I work tomorrow and weekend. I need to rest. Dude, take care. Thanks for stopping in. That's my brother. Okay. We'll just move this over. All right, we're just using generic text. I mean, we always do, but... Okay. Last thing. Okay, there we go. Then in the back of my car. I think that's what we'll label the stream now. So you face Pirate Software in a competitive match of Rock'em Sock'em Robots? Let's do it for charity. Okay. Now we can change this. David, what is this called? What was that? You guys should be able to see it now. Okay. All right, you guys should see the new title. I'm gonna have to remove that from it though. Have to remove the Discord thing. Thank you, Quinn's brother. Hope a song gets deported to Japan as a welcoming of the other. Boxing on the ICs. Got the biggest ego. It's probably a tie. Okay. Diabolical thumbnail. You like it? Had to stick something together real quick. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Alrighty. Sorry, I had to do last two things. We're gonna be looking up this information together, getting the stuff surrounding it. I should have been tagging the stuff earlier. There we go. Save that. And then we just need to change this. All right. Got everything on my end done. Now let's actually jump into this shit. So, sad Conor McGregor is no longer running for president of Ireland. Not sad, but it is kind of a bummer. Should be, is it D4VD? Did I fuck it up? D4VD, thank you. Yes, it is. My bad. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for the correction. Okay, so we can actually... There we go. Let's now jump into... All right. I think the smartest thing we'll do here... Allegedly, this high-speed chase in LA is related to David. I don't... Oh, also, apparently the mom of the woman who was found dead said that they were dating David. FaZe Temperrr, that's crazy. Wow, I can't believe that's related. So, on stream, on chat, reacting to it. Oh, wow. Whoa. Apparently, they were on a stream together on one of David's streams, and she was on it. Body found in the car register singer is identified as 15-year-old Celeste Riva. Okay. Oh, the police are after him. Holy shit, this is just from a couple hours ago. Sorry, let me actually just start showing you guys what I'm talking about here. Whoa. Okay. So, apparently, this is going to be all over the place. I'm going to have to, I'm just going to record separately. We'll just cover it on stream. The LAPD has searched a home where singer David had reportedly been staying. Don't know why they'd be doing that if they weren't looking for him. A body found in a car registered to the singer was recently identified as 15-year-old Celeste Riva. This is them on that stream together and him taking a picture with her.
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
It is... I was not keeping up with this drama for a while. Because I was like, okay, it was just someone stole his car, fucking buried a body in it. That's fucked up. That's crazy. Not actually that simple. They left with some laptop. He will be arrested soon. Okay, so apparently, yeah, he had also left with a laptop or some shit. Okay. Oh, wait, does this just... Wait. Okay, so people are just going over that. It just looks like AI. So there was a lot of people. I'm trying to remember where I saw this information on. I think probably one of the more important bits about this is people showing that. So David had a connection with this individual. Originally, they didn't think that there was any relation to these people. It's just that a body was found. Then they found out it was this gal named Celeste. Now, Celeste is just a pretty damn unique name. Well, it turns out David wrote songs about Celeste. Also, like, they were on stream together, so the same person who was found. Let me show you guys clips of that song. Go. Made a song about a girl named Celeste in December of 2023. And this is it. Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Oh, Celeste. So like everyone's kind of joking now that he has been leaving breadcrumbs here and there throughout the entirety of the last couple of years. And also, like, they were on stream and he was like, mods, can we delete all the VODs? Which is interesting. So here, yep, no one ever, he never released. Oh, he also released that song, or posted on his IG, on his Instagram, that he would be dropping 15 songs, which was her 15th birthday. Let's see here. The song. Oh, also, not the greatest follow-up here. So he also had a music video. David had made a music video to the song One More Dance. If you guys are familiar with that one, where it was 3 people dumping a body in the trunk of a car and another girl that resembles Celeste making an appearance. I'm just going to showcase that as well.
Wait.
Oh, look it. Answer
Ignore
that one.
that. Sorry,
so
that was super fucking loud. Okay. Crazy that I'm using the picture from, I believe, this. Yeah. So it's worse and worse. Now, again, this is all circumstantial and, you know, everything is now lining up after the fact, but it's not looking good.
I mean, if you don't answer that.
It's crazy that this shit is lining up. So he took a vulnerable child and killed her. Yeah, and apparently they'd been together for quite some time, it appears. Let me see here. Damn, you know what? It probably would be a good idea for just me to just make a video on it, because I am not prepared and I don't want you guys sitting around like while I'm just pulling up tabs and shit. It's just a waste of your guys' time. But I will be making a video going over the coverage. It might even be smart for me to just like hold off on this one, just get the video out tonight for the FaZe stuff, because it looks like stuff is happening right now. Like just a couple hours ago, they were raiding the house, seeing if they could find him, like the police were. So it's not looking fantastic. And if there's more stuff coming out, I just want to cover it all in the same video, but I guess I could just make 2 on it. But okay. Sorry for teasing it. And then I shouldn't be covering it if I don't have everything ready for you guys. I just don't want to waste your time. This is a good stream. I hope you guys learned some stuff from the FaZe Temperrr stuff. I'll be getting that video out tonight here. So take a look at that, and then tomorrow I'll be going over if any new stuff from the David stuff comes out. I might even stream it if there's a lot to it. But just look for a video about that the following day here. Trying to get back into the swing of things. But that's it for tonight. Now the Real Catfish Gaming stream. That would be fun. I'd rather go ahead and get the Temperrr video out first. But then if you guys want to, if you guys are still sticking around and you want to join the Discord here, I'll hop in tonight after I get the video put out and we can play some games, shoot the shit. As I always say. Hold on here. Let's get that into here. Asmongold dad died. Karma hits hard for fascists. Dude. Pretty tone deaf there. That's crazy. Even Hassan had some better things to say about it than that. There we go. So here is that Discord thing for you here. I'm going to be getting Dying Light stuff. I'm very excited for that. There's a link to the Discord if you want to chat. and I'll be on later. I might even grab Dying Light for that. That's it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the video that comes out of it. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys later. Adios.